Welcome back to the LCS, where after only one game, we have some breaking news.
Wait, they're doing it for you.
Yeah, we got the...
Yeah, Raz, we don't need you for that. Thank you, though, for offering to fill in. Our breaking news is that Raz is officially safe from having to eat habanero. With CLG picking up that win earlier today, they not only guarantee themselves top 5, but they have guaranteed Raz safety.
Thank you, pal.
From the heat of the moment in the habanero. A couple other things I just want to quickly throw out there when it comes to the playoff picture. The top 3 teams, EG, 100 Thieves, and TL, are all guaranteed top 3 due to that result. The seeding within those top 3 can still change. From there, 4, 5, and 6, CLG, C9, FlyQuest, they are all guaranteed to be within those 3 places, can still have seeding change. TSM locked in 7th, that can't change. The bottom 3 teams, Dig, Golden Guardians, Immortals, they're guaranteed to stay in the bottom 3, but they're fighting for that number 8 spot. Any of them can still technically get it. Now, as we transition, though, towards our next game of the day, this is a big one between EG and Cloud9, just from the size of team, you know, the expectation of the intensity of these rosters. And specifically, we're going to talk to or hear from Jensen, who had some thoughts for the rest of the league after a very strong Anivia performance just yesterday.
Yeah, I think we kind of just turn it around. I mean, in LCS, there's a lot of Zoomers. They don't really know how my champion works because they didn't play since like the old school days. So my champion is pretty OP against these kind of players.
What did you think of facing Caps, especially in that first game? People were like, has JoJo ever even played against Anivia before?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that champ and I was like, what is that? I mean, I don't even know.
So yeah, that's from when they had to face G2 at MSI and they pulled out the Anivia in draft. I loved the Anivia pick from C9 yesterday. The Anivia Poppy combo is something that like you go through it in your head and you're like, wait, that's actually awesome, especially against a lot of the team compositions we're seeing right now with Sivir.
Yeah, it's really smart. Great into the matchup in terms of team fighting, specifically versus the Taliyah later on. And then, of course, like, it's funny because you're right about the combination. It's also just good into Sivir comps.
Yep.
If Sivir's trying to ever use her ulti to dash into you, like the age-old, really old strategy would just be Anivia wall. Actually stop it.
Yeah.
So really fun to be able to see that, and up against JoJo too, because like just the idea of picking up a really old unused champion and then surprising the Zoomers of the world is a tried and tested one.
I was gonna say, we definitely like to talk about the dominance of a lot of the newer champions out there on the Rift, but it's nice every once in a while to see one of the oldies but goodies come back and put those champions in their place. Jat, we saw a quick look at a comparison between the 2 mid laners as they go up against each other today. Neither one of them necessarily statistically dominant within the league or even over each other. So that generally indicates, from a split-long perspective, that they seem to be evenly matched.
Yeah, and Jensen does have a lot of respect for JoJo. We've heard him in interviews when talking about the best mids in the league. He's like, oh yeah, JoJo's actually pretty tough to play against. Like, he holds a lot of respect for such a young player. But I also want to talk about Jensen for a moment because he has had such a great Super Week so far.
Yes.
But he had such a bad Week 7. So we call this Gents off versus Gents on. And this is 2 games versus 2 games. It's a completely different player out on the Rift. And if he can, if Jensen can maintain this level of play, I think that would give C9 a very good chance of taking down EG today.
Yeah, and that said, can be said for the rest of the team as well. So like the level of consistency can be shown from bot side, certainly Blaber, but 100% Jensen as well. Because I know you're zooming into just like this and last week, but that could be said for the rest of the split as well.
Yeah, and I think the cool thing about C9, the credit we've given them, is that once they do get a solid lead, they play it out really well. Like we saw it with yesterday's composition, but we've also seen it when they've gotten it off of big plays like that Jensen Taliyah game that was like 2 weeks ago, I think, where he was just absolutely popping off.
They're also one of the teams that we've talked about over time as being able to win from any position, right? While there is inconsistency throughout the team, any one of them if they turn it on, can be the carry threat. But I think that's why we're still wanting for that consistency so badly, Raz, because we believe that they could be a 1-2 threat in the postseason. They just aren't there yet.
It's kind of crazy how many games they've had, or weeks they've had where they've gone 2-0, where it's like, oh, but they kind of should have gone 0-2. But they had these late game, like, heroic moments.
Hero plays,
Either Jensen or Fudge, the person right in front of you, where they just go off. And you're just like, okay, you've won.
No, he goes
game.
gents on, not gents off.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So,
gents on.
Yeah.
So we get more of the gents on rather than gents off. So you're just like, okay, so like we just had a really great late game. The enemy team didn't perform. But at some point, we're going to just flatly improve across the board. And so I think a lot of the C9 fans are waiting for that. The players themselves are also hoping that this is going to be the week that they turn that around.
Absolutely. Back over to the Evil Geniuses side, though, Jat, as well. I think there's a lot of pressure on this team to give us a solid victory over another top team moving into the postseason. Again, this is a team that from spring to MSI and then skipping over that proposed hangover, we've got a lot of excitement for it, but they got to keep living up to it.
And they have been dominant this split, already having 14 wins, but their 3 losses come against the other 3 teams right next to them in the standings. So having a 2-0 over C9 would be quite important for them. Also, as we've said before, a win guarantees them the #1 seed.
Yep, there you have it. We'll see what both of these teams can get done as we step out to the arena to join Flowers, Kobe, and MarkZ for the call.
Welcome back, everybody. We still got me and Kobe, but now we have Mark in a pinstripe tracksuit. Hell,
that's me. Carrying on, trying to be comfortable from yesterday.
I like it. I'm a fan.
I was gonna ask what weapons you have concealed in your tracksuit.
I'm not like Raz. I didn't come with a water gun strapped up.
Yeah. That's, okay, we're not gonna go any further into that because I was trying to think of my funniest answers, but they're probably TOS for violence or whatever. But that's okay because we're about to have some violence on the Rift because we've got EG and C9, and I want a bloody game of League of Legends out of these teams.
I mean, you can probably expect that with how aggressive Cloud9 has been playing recently. They were up there with CLG 1-2 basically in the league for early game kills and deaths, to be fair. Combined kills per minute does take that into account. So,
I like that one. I love me some trash talking signs. Jensen about to send JoJo back to Fortnite. JoJo is the one trying to send all these laners back to other lanes previously, and he actually successfully did that to Fudge, sending him back to top lane. So we'll see if Jensen can get revenge for his top laner.
I don't want that. I want JoJo to stay in League of Legends, friend.
Well, let's see if he has to play against another Season 1 champion. Let's see if Jensen can keep breaking out these relics of the past, like the Anivia of yesterday.
Annie mid incoming.
Yep, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. It's Kalista, it's Draven, it's Zeri. 3 marksmen and Wukong banned away here in the first 4 bans. Now Poppy's gonna join up there, so those 2 top-tier junglers out of the picture.
And a ton of these AD carries. I think it is smart for EG to focus on the lane bully carries. Berserker stomps in Champions Queue on these lane bully AD carries. And Evil Geniuses, their bottom lane, when they rose to power, that was one of the weaknesses, was the lane phase of the bottom lane. So getting those bullies out of there early.
Berserker stomps a lot in Champions Queue, except for the games where I bet on him getting a lot of kills, and then all of them get stolen.
Stolen away. So the Sivir. The Sivir to me stands out. Zeri's banned, Draven's banned, Kalista's banned. Sivir is high priority here.
And, as you pointed out, surely enough, it's hovered and locked in for Evil Geniuses and Danny.
So this is where I want to see they go from here because it's so obvious that Sivir is going to be the first pick. You should be leaving up something that you know you want to play into it. Taking the Yuumi away makes sense. Sivir-Yuumi combo has been absolutely crazy.
Twitch could be the possibility.
Ooh, Submarine.
Twitch into Sivir is pretty decent because you can 1-item power spike on the Twitch, go around ambushing people, and if you have Twitch Yuumi, of course, you've got great skilling for later.
There were always the kind of matchups where you find ways to kill the Sivir in the side lanes later on in the game. Twitch being one of them, Vayne was another one. Much better in the current meta, absolutely incredible late game potential as well as early game playmaking.
Beautifully predicted, Mr. Kobe.
This one's going well
What's
for
next?
me.
All right, keep it going. Keep the roll going. What do we got next?
All right, we're looking at some jungle or support here. Jungle or support. Lulu. We talked about this last game, the trade of Yuumi Lulu. These are the two enchanters buffing up these types of end game carries that are most sought after right now. So that one also is not really a big surprise. Here's what I'm actually looking for though. Are they actually going to blind pick a solo lane or just grab jungle? Because jungle grab right now would be the safest. You know, Wukong is banned out with the Poppy. So maybe they're thinking, we're already going to get pushed down to tier 2, and they don't feel that necessity. So stuff like, you know, blind Azir or something like that could also happen.
I'm not surprised to see the Ahri though, because a lot of the most common blind junglers are taken off. The Poppy and Wukong were kind of the two that most people went towards. And Blaber does have a more aggressive champion pool than some other people, so I can see Inspired wanting to see a little bit more of if it's going to be the Olaf being paired up with the Yuumi or something like that.
Yeah, if they don't pick it right now, it's going to get banned away.
Yeah.
Because they already have Yuumi and Cloud9. Whenever they have Enchanter support and Blaber gets Olaf, terrible things happen.
What do you mean great things happen from
to their opponents? Jojo takes the Ahri end of the LeBlanc matchup. That's interesting to me because his LeBlanc has been the most impressive to me. We will see here though, because both these assassins, this is skill matchup for the mid lane. Definitely skill matchup I like to see as well. On this patch, LeBlanc got 20 more damage on Distortion. So we'll see about maybe early jungle ganks towards mid lane to open up those picks.
All right, and as we're into the second part of the bans here, some differing philosophies coming out. We're seeing Cloud9 look towards that top lane, looking at the Gwen ban, as EG is going to continue to pinch the jungle pool. Jarvan taken off the table, back to C9 for one more ban. Do they want to stay looking at impact, stay looking at this top lane? Nope, they're going to pressure the jungle now too, even further. So that's 4 jungle bans across the 9 bans we've seen.
A lot of attention there.
Whittling down here. If that's not an Olaf, then I don't know what is life anymore, Mark.
I mean, you can always, in theory, take Trundle Olaf. That was a common matchup back in the day.
It's not good. It's not
the
good
same
anymore.
as it was back then when the Olaf can stick.
Red Smite got nerfed. That was the biggest hit to it. Is Trundle into Olaf was always about, you know, I'm going to hand-on-hand fight you with Red Smites, and Olaf will laugh at that now.
All right, the C9 pick the Olaf. We were clearly expecting it here on the desk. Is that what they want to go for? It was not banned away. It was lost in place of a Kayle ban or a Jarvan ban, whichever one you think should have been swapped out for Olaf. They're hovering over this for a while, but I will not be baited.
The Kayle ban is interesting to me because that signals for EG. You know, they're going to blind pick a tank top lane, something that is going to get abused and scaled on by the Kayle. So Kayle protection ban, that's what I'm thinking. Probably that Ornn that they hovered.
It makes sense too. Impact has been struggling a little bit more in recent weeks. Got taken apart by Bwipo recently, and going back more to his wheelhouse, the Gwen was not particularly impressive when he played it. Ornn is that stable champion that everyone associates Impact's play style with. Now you kind of secure your scaling advantage in this game as well. I mean, both obviously Sivir and Twitch scale extremely well, but now with the Masterwork items coming in, you're going to have the late game advantage.
Yeah, buddy, let's see what they want to finish this composition with. We still need to see the jungle pick of Inspired. He knows he's against a Viego. He knows he doesn't have good ganks to make mid lane. The Vi locked in.
Yeah, Vi super popular right now. It's actually getting first picked in other regions. So much so, I think that is an error, but it is good used in scenarios where you've already seen enemy carries. And namely, this is all about the Twitch. You pick the Vi into the Twitch. There's a champion that has no dashes. Vi ultimate can guarantee you that engage. The one problem for the Sivir into Twitch matchup later, Twitch obviously has massive range with the ultimate coming up, and so a Vi into Ornn combination, a lot of crowd control there. It allows Sivir to get into these team fights and make up for the range discrepancy.
This is really cool. I feel like there's not many times in the current meta where you have comps that are largely the same. A lot of the times you'll end up with carry versus tank top or something like that. Here you have double tank top, double bruiser jungle, double assassin mid, double scaling kind of playmaking-esque bot lane. So I actually think this is a really cool matchup, and it's about who's going to play this better because there's not inherent advantages necessarily.
So then who do you give the edge to? Even if they're similar, pick one.
I would actually say there are some key differences here where the Cloud9, Sejuani should do better into Ornn for the Sejuani Ornn lane as tanks top, and Twitch can spike on one item, like I was talking about earlier with just the Blade, the Rune King. So I think there should be more early moves from Cloud9 side. So that's what I expect to be the difference here.
Mark, what's your answer?
I'm taking the Ornn, man. Anytime I see Ornn, I just feel so much security in my back pocket knowing
Were
at some
you
point,
the guy in the audience?
the Ornn guy? I was casting the Ornn guy. How would I be the Ornn guy?
Maybe you can throw your voice, Mark.
Are you a ventriloquist, Mark?
No.
Okay, damn.
The crowd's coming to life. The teams are ready to go. EGC9, let's do it. First to emerge here in this battle from two of the teams that I think everybody's expecting to really be big contenders for that summer title, for that first spot.
This is upper bracket preview of playoffs.
Yeah, buddy.
That's what the people pay for. This is what we want to see.
All right, and with us now just getting into the game, we're getting some words from Blaber as he fights the face of evil.
I actually think that TL, for example, have a stronger early game than EG, but what EG really excels at is team fighting and outplay mechanically, and their macro actually mid-game is not bad, but a lot of times it's like the game's going fine versus EG and then you just get aced and then you're just like, what happened, you know? And I think Inspired's been for sure playing really well this split. I think he's extremely consistent and consistently popping off actually, so I think he deserves a lot of credit for their success, but yeah, I'm excited to play them.
There's so much talk about coming off that, especially with the current drafts. We talk about how there are different windows for each team that they're going to have power spikes, but largely it's most likely going to come down to team fighting. And this is kind of calling your shot, saying, okay, we think EG is the best team fighting team in the league. We pretty much took a bit of a pick comp, but also a large team fighting comp here. We hope we can outperform them in that and see a bit of a skill check. Heading into playoffs, are we at that level right now?
Yeah, I love that. I love going for testing yourself as Berserker just immediately jumping in. Ignite, level 1. Danny takes so much damage.
Earlier moves from Cloud9 starting way early in this game. I love the aggressive opening here. Getting the ghost down from Danny on the Sivir, and just a very positive health check there. Definitely a lot of room gained in lane. Curious though if the jungles will actually turn towards bottom for early ganks or go for the mid lane. Wow, Ignite traded back.
They just never stop. C9 is bloodthirsty at level 1.
I mean, Zven talked about how he wants to play every lane to the hilt, wants to push his advantage as far as he can. And they also do have more combat summoners. It's a lot of flash ghosts for Danny, no heal. So they want to just push that as much as they can.
And this kid named himself Berserker.
Yeah, case in point.
Not coward, not like scale.
Yep, he's true to his name, Berserker. Definitely like watching him play. Again, we talk about the early lane phases, of course, but what I'm really watching is the minimap for the junglers, and right now, Blaber's going over the ward for the invade. The Viego invade will take away Raptors while Inspired's doing red, but he can wrap around and find him here. Jojo not giving anything away with the movement yet. He can come for the charm.
Blaber, let's see what happens now. He's trying to get away, flashes the charm. Jensen comes over the wall, but the chain hit the chicken.
Unlucky, not able to follow that up. Probably wouldn't have too much more on the tail end of it after Blaber had already been forced to flash out. And the nice thing is, with how much pressure C9's bot lane had early on, getting the flash out of Blaber is not just defending your chicken camp, but also making it a little bit harder to play make around that Twitch lane, which is clearly up in pressure right now.
Yeah, I was thinking either definitely gank bottom or mid lane. And that does significantly reduce the LeBlanc Viego 2v2 combination. Not being able to have flash counterplay for a Vi Q coming out of brush or something, entering the 2v2 definitely will hurt him. But Blaber just picks up the Scuttle Crab and then finishes off his full clear. Blue quadrant should be next.
Definitely gives the respect to Inspired to hear him in the slot as well. Kind of the other thing they talked about there was how good Inspired is, deserving a lot of respect. And just that play there relieves a lot of pressure in the early game that you're talking about. They had CS leads in topside where the Sejuani was already roaming down out of the map. Obviously, the double melee combination that comes with Viego Sejuani can be pretty annoying to deal with as well. So there's so many lanes for Blaber to play around. The fact that Inspired gets the first advantage in the game for his matchup is huge.
And I love this little stat here on the side, 24-6. That's an 80% win rate across his career on this champion. Jensen, very, very adept at it, but as he jumps in after JoJo, he's gonna take some damage back. Inspired, waiting in the wings just in case anything got sketchy here in mid lane. He was ready to help out, but now JoJo with very little mana, he's gonna have to back up here.
Yeah, when you've got these assassin mid lane matchups, oftentimes you'll see junglers come hover for the counter gank for the mid 2v2. Vi has huge advantages when going for counter ganks because you can charge up your Q in the brush and completely surprise and outplay your opponents. Meanwhile, on the top side, even though Fudge was able to push in early, Impact with a good brittle trade right back at it.
And Fudge did go for the flash instead of ignite, so this is not quite as aggressive of the matchup as you could have gone, like you're referencing, Kobe, but here realizing like it's probably more important if I can flash on top of a Sivir for a Q charge and actually chain CC or something.
I just feel like a lot of times when we get the ignite teleport Sejuanis here in the LCS, I don't have a lot of moments that immediately jump to mind where I'm like, damn, I'm glad he took
that solo
right
kill
there.
though.
Yeah, exactly. Like in a Champions Queue environment or something, yeah, go for it. Slap him with W2 and just assert your dominance as Sejuani.
All right, revisiting the mid jungle. Inspired comes back to replace the ward just before Blaber. The timing on this ward really good. Information instantly gained for EG.
Inspired will aggro those chickens as Blaber is again in the jungle. He will see that Inspired is right there farming, so a little bit of information back for Cloud9. They'll be able to track that.
The one nice thing for C9 right now is with how aggressive bot lane was trading, you can see a CS lead growing. They have the wave kind of on their side here, so they will have a small advantage over the course of the game, already 600 right now, but the status quo isn't too bad for C9, though we talked about Inspired stopping some of Blaber's aggression. They're also just winning these lanes.
Jensen doing really good there in these 1v1 trades against JoJo.
Yeah, level 6s come in for them. You know, kill pressure goes through the roof on these mid laners, and Inspired just comes over to make sure they can push the wave out and get the recall off after that heavy one. Blaber going to use the health trade to take the dragon. Wow, we look for a possible roam on that Sejuani.
And I really like C9 going for the Drake here. They recognize that EG doesn't have a mid laner that can do a whole lot about it right now. Fudge, however, could be in trouble. Nice disengage, but will it be enough? Ornn, there it is. First blood over to JoJo.
Really heads up play by JoJo there, knowing with the pressure that Jensen got, he's going to go for the objective in the bot lane. And then so he scoots up to the top side, makes a play onto Fudge. Really nice counterpunch by EG.
All right, so it is dragon traded for the first blood, but you also have to consider the turret plate taken afterwards is a bit more money on top of the first blood. So decent trade there. Cloud9 still get the dragon though, and this is increased buffs power on these dragons, so pretty close trade. Fudge had a nice ult flash here. He ults, then flashes out. Not going to be able to escape though, of course. The Ahri damage and the Ornn ultimate go right through those minions.
It was also a good use of the vision control that they had set up earlier when Inspired went into that brush, knowing that it was unwarded, that JoJo could then take that same path up to the top side when C9 might have been expecting a reset or something.
All right, well, despite that first blood and the turret plate money, Cloud9 still pretty much dead even in gold and have the extra dragon buff to them. A lot of that is this bottom lane. Berserker and Zven with the aggressive opening, farming super well on this lane, getting towards that Blade of the Ruin King that I love so much, or hate so much, depending on if it switches the opponents. Those ambush plays. It's very cool, though, that there is kind of this unique AD carry that has level 1 power spikes, can roam around and look for its own kills, especially if you got a Yuumi surfing around.
And the way that we've been seeing Berserker play this game so far, I fully expect as soon as that purchase is completed, he doesn't head back to bottom lane, he heads somewhere else, he finds those ambushes, and they start to make a play as Jensen finds the chain here on JoJo, sticks around long enough for the root, and snaps back before Inspired can hit it.
Yeah, I really like all these wards that are constantly being invested by EG around mid lane to keep vision for this Viego, because JoJo, the other, callback to the top lane gank is that he didn't have ultimate for a while, so you're a little bit more vulnerable. And every single move from Blaber towards this early game has resulted in no kill. It's always been wards everywhere.
Doing a good job tracking the jungler, shutting down any potential there. As there comes your Yuumi ulti. Twitch Yuumi, they get the kill before the 2v2 is a 2v3. Berserker's still gonna die, so it'll be a 1-for-1. Let C9 get it with one less man, and that means they can send their forces top to get a kill on Impact 2.
Yeah, nice trade on the top side as well. You saw them working down the initial trade by Fudge, trying to get on top of him. Held the ultimate there so they could pull off that dive, find that kill, while Inspired just 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Obviously, things going in C9's favor there.
Yeah, way better for Cloud9. Here we go about this 1v1 in mid, though. Jojo uses the charge to get out of the chain range. He flashes on Jensen. They trade flashes, and Cloud9 get that Rift Herald.
Jensen had a beautiful predict on the chain there for where Jojo was going to be. It didn't end up being able to latch on or anything or get the root, but damn, the aim was nice.
I mean, I think Jensen's playing this lane so well. He's keeping up his pressure. There's a lot of investment around mid lane for EG, not just in terms of wards, but Inspired's time has been mostly around mid lane. Jensen is doing what he is most known for over his career, is putting pressure out mid while absorbing the enemy team's attention, which allows Blaber to be going and making these plays elsewhere on the map.
Can I just say, finally, Mark, finally. Jensen's been scaling, baby. The last 2 games from him have been immaculate, and let's just review how good the last couple minutes for Cloud9 were, because their bottom side gank for EG was actually a 1-for-1. Because Berserker and Vulcan got to open up and get the initial kill, that gank was only a 1-for-1, and meanwhile on top side where Cloud9 know, we've got the extra person, we've got the extra gank here. Blaber's gank is not only a kill onto Impact as he flashes for it, but again, it is the resulting turret plate and Rift Herald picked up.
Nicely, nicely done from C9. They're now up 1,500 gold. 1 minute until our next Drake spawns. It is a Hextech Drake. 9% attack speed, 9% ability haste. Desirable for every champion in the game. Do we think EG wants to fight for this, or do you just let it go because C9 has a lead and you don't want to risk a big loss?
Oh, God, I feel like this is a game where you do have the scaling in your back pocket a little bit, but C9's is not so bad that you can just start seeding everything on the map. I'm not sure if this is the exact power spike you want to go on, because most likely we'll see if C9 take any resets to get some of these items completed. They're so close to a number of mythics. Only Sejuani is hazards right now, but there you go. Blaber just picked up his Divine Sunderer, and so it does feel like because they're behind in gold, they won't be able to match these power spikes, and you probably want to sack that dragon.
Well, Berserker not yet on the Blade of the Ruined King that Kobe is so excited for. Also has about 9 stacks left on the cull. He will not cash that out in time to be able to spend the money before the Drake if they go for it on spawn. Inspired still hanging around here in mid lane. Jensen has been playing aggressively. He's been playing so well into Jojo. They want to see if they can punish that. Jensen using the first W, now R2. Follow-up coming in from Jojo as evil geniuses kill off Jensen. Nicely done. They wait for the distortion, and they find their mark. Bottom side, the Yuumi ulti opens up as Berserker walks away. That's a pretty big ulti. Spent for not a lot.
The benefit of how straightforward a champion Vi is. This is why it's gaining popularity. All these carries, ultimate into follow-up instantly from the Ahri charm.
I feel like I caster curse him. I was just like, oh, Jensen's surviving all this pressure. Minute later, dead to the Vi. Unfortunate, but C9 still have enough pressure on the back end of that from the bot lane trade that they just took to go ahead and grab that objective still.
Plus, it's also worth noting, again, keeping track of the turret plate money. Who's playing for turret plates? Sejuani, Fudge there, got another turret plate off top side while Ornn hovered towards mid to try and follow up on that play.
Sejuani dirty farming just looks so funny to me. You see it was singed, it looks right. There's certain champs you expect to see behind the turret. Sejuani behind Ornn.
She is just not one of them.
No, not to me.
Well, back here in mid lane, Jensen's still doing good on LeBlanc, despite the fact that he got punished there in mid lane by Inspired Vi. Everfrost completed for Jojo before Jensen's able to get his own mythic online. That's going to feel good for the EG mid laner. Blade of the Ruined King, Kobe. We're in business here for Berserker in the Twitch.
All right, somebody help them push that bottom lane out so we can get some roaming Twitch plays then. Look for the ambushes on other people. Definitely, I always love ganking first for this lane, because once you shove into Twitch lane for them, then they get to roam around. You could even get some Yuumi action jumping on either LeBlanc or the Viego, trying to create some plays.
It is also more difficult before any of the turrets drop. You can see Blaber already reading your mind, going down there, dropping the Herald behind the turret.
Yep.
Going to want to try and start breaking some of these open, as well as funneling a little bit more gold into Berserker's hands.
All right, Vulcan and Danny, they'll just back up a little bit as this Herald's ready to charge. They do pop the eye before it charges, but that's not enough to stop it in its tracks. So 2 plates still go over the way of C9. Berserker and Zven getting whatever damage they can. They're fine to trade back and forth thanks to the Zoomies healing. Jensen stepping past the Everfrost. dodges the charm too. Inspired's here, but Blaber's also ready to go. Jojo still looking to see if there's anything to be done, but just throws out a bit of extra damage, spends that final charge back underneath the tier 1 turret.
Fudge also TP'd down to mid lane. You can see EG threw some question mark pings like, what the? Because they were very happy to disengage that situation by Impact some alone time. To Kobe's point, he missed it! No, I was about to say, get the other turret plate right before it dropped.
He was bonking as hard as he could.
Bonk harder.
Couldn't get that turret plate down in time.
Sometimes you can't bonk hard enough. But Impact may just be the one getting bonked now. Fudge finds the ulti. He's staying in front of him so he can't charge away. Heartbreaker playmaker. Blaber's in there and they get the kill.
Oh no, Impact, he tried to greed out for the turret plate, doesn't get it, and then chased down the lane and killed.
The whole sequence was Heartbreaker. That was not just the ultimate.
Oh man, meanwhile, Jensen just gets clobbered in mid lane.
Love to see it. Vi actually just as a champion, the most kind of kinetic feeling of any champion design. The punches feel so visceral with it. Right in there, even on LeBlanc with that passive popping up, Inspired's able to get another kill.
Yeah, this is actually huge because JoJo is a little bit ahead of the pace of the game now, or at least respected to his opponent. And moving into the mid game here, you expect to see a lot of side laning from the LeBlanc Ahri. And while it might be a little hard for them to find kills because they're both so mobile directly, who can bring more resources will be a huge advantage, and who has push, so you can start setting up that vision. And if the Ahri can get ahead, it becomes a lot easier for Inspired and the rest of his team to start using that pressure, moving into the river, starting to control vision, and grabbing it back from Cloud9, who has, for the majority of this game, had vision control.
Yeah, and if we look at the state of vision right now, you can see a little bit of warding here in the topside river. Danny getting shot to pieces by Berserker with that Blade of the Ruined King, that ambush that you were talking so much about, Kobe. It doesn't result in a kill, but it gets both summoner spells and the ulti from Danny, so it still costs a huge price.
Exactly, that's just Prial for the Rift Herald #2. You don't get the kill, but simply by the huge cooldown trade and health trade, you get full priority to pick up Rift Herald #2. Fudge now.
Oh, okay, doing a little bit of gymnastics
finding
here.
His way home.
Wants to escape from the Ornn and the Vi. They're going full in for the dive. Inspired's hitting the turret, but instead Impact's just going straight after the enemy champion. This is a mess. What on earth is going on? There we go. Turret finally dies. EG's bringing in some more help. Okay, a little bit further. There it is. I was worried for Impact there for a second. That turret was warming up.
I mean, it took a lot to get down. They eventually finished off the turret, left them low health, but it took 4 members ultimately up on that bot side of the map, meaning that C9 can just drop that Rift Herald instantly and cash in on their gold.
The problem with making opposite side objective trades against the team that has Rift Herald is that Rift Herald charges have to be answered, or this thing just keeps on going. They get all the way through the secondary turret. They get a charge up on inhibitor turret as well. Huge value from that. It's kind of the respect objective. If the other team has Rift Herald, then you know, all right, we can't just trade objectives. We have to go stop it, or else that thing's going to get out of hand.
The nice thing, too, is you have a little bit more control of who's getting that gold. So they were able to get that mostly onto Jensen. He's now a couple hundred gold ahead, about 300 gold ahead of jojopyun. So helping stabilize that matchup that we were talking about starting to go in JoJo's favor.
5 seconds till Drake, my friends, and EG is moving into the bottom side river. C9, they'll probably want to be contesting this one too. They're the ones that are almost at soul point, but they also have to go in mostly blind. That Scuttle Crab vision is about to fade away. You can see EG with 3 control wards here, 1 in the pit, 2 in the brushes nearby. C9 will be the first ones to start up the Drake. Impact fires off the Scryer's Bloom. Inspired waiting in Pixel Brush with Danny and Vulcan stepping forward. Danny's got no summoner spells. Remember that. He is vulnerable if C9 find their opportunity. Keep her eyes on Inspired. He'll be trying to contest. He'll be looking for those plays. Been finding a lot of them so far in this game on the Vi. Cloud9 backing away with the Drake still at about 6,000. They're going to let EG take the aggro on that one. See if they can find a punish. Jojo wrapping around from the side. The Ornn horn sounds off. Berserker under pressure. He flashes away, but Inspired's got the kill. Jojo's back in the middle, and Blaber can't get any sort of a reset. Jensen goes back over the wall, and C9 collapse. That's what you heard Blaber talking about. You're even with them, and then they slam a team fight.
Evil geniuses strike again, the 5v5, and it was a huge flank from Jojo around the bottom, right onto the Twitch, and they barely have enough damage to get through. They kill the Twitch. There's no more AD carry DPS coming through. They run right into them.
It's such a good understanding of how they're supposed to win these team fights. They had 5 men in the river kind of staring down Cloud9, and Jensen was able to kind of pop forward and back. And EG realized this is not how we win this fight front to back against the Twitch. And that's when jojopyun starts making that wraparound.
Yeah, just watch this. You see, Jensen up here is trying to block Jojo, but he makes this path all the way down straight towards the Twitch, and he ignores Jensen. Jensen's right here. He's like, try to chain him, trying to stop him. But he goes, boom, straight for him. They get the knock up into the Everfrost, and Danny with the bouncing blades there as well. Jojo follows it up. He hits the charm to finish it off, and they get the assassination onto the back line. It's just great understanding of the 5-on-5 team fight here from Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, and evaluating threats. Like, okay, Berserker is the really fed member of this enemy team. We need to make sure we get on top of him. Inspired and jojopyun showing that coordination in that team fight, soloing him out, getting that kill.
And it's even Inspired that tops the damage charts. The 3-0 and 3 Vi, 6 out of 7 kill participation, no deaths. Inspired's having an awesome performance on this team.
I was about to say, last game of the regular season, he is making a very good case for his MVP candidacy. This last little bit on the resume has looked incredible. He's been by far the biggest factor this game.
Yeah, towards the end of the year, since Inspired was already this overwhelming favorite, this is the time where people try and come up with, okay, well, we know that Inspired is the favorite, but what about, and bring up other names, and he's just like, no.
Nail in the coffin.
Shut up. Yep, we're just going for this. The man has had an incredible split so far. This game, no deviation from that. If he can finish out this one strong, I mean, I don't know if we're supposed to say our votes publicly, but if he finishes this game as strong as the first 20 minutes, he's my number one vote.
Leaked!
Oh, he's my number one vote.
You'll now have to leave the cast. That was uncalled for.
Yeah,
It'll be a
sorry
Kobe
about
ideal
that.
cast.
Scrap the VOD, delete this, scrub the libraries, whatever. Magnet ties the hard drive. I don't know.
I for one will write you letters while you're in jail.
All right, I appreciate it, buddy. That's a true friend.
I'll see you in 20 years when you're out.
All right,
I'll be there in the car waiting with a cheeseburger.
Hey, at least I'll pick you up.
Yeah.
Hey, that'll work. At least I got to ride home. Man, I'm getting 20 years for this?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Serious, these voting.
All right, well, JoJo's up here topside. Let's see if he really wants to go through with laying a trap for Jensen. Nope, he just wants to pick up the wave. There's nobody else around here from EG to try to make any sort of a play here. Maybe he can interrupt the back. Jensen's going to step a little bit further forward. As soon as JoJo sees the sweep, he knows he has to step out because the jig is up. No Drake for 2 minutes still, so we're still going to see some plays kind of all over the place here. As Jensen sticks around, Inspired jumps up, and they're just ready to go. Inspired's not afraid to face check this. He knows he won't be 100-0'd by the Cloud9 mid laner. Immediately pops the ulti. That's going to force Jensen to reset position. There it is. Everfrost into Charm. It's too easy. Evil Geniuses get another one.
I just love how Vi approaches LeBlanc. Is like, nice magic tricks. I've seen that one before.
Watch me snap your ankles. And he's like, nope, just going to keep charging at you.
Point and click, baby. People always like to talk about sick mechanics, but when it comes down to it, the point and click guaranteed ultimate,
I love it,
is the real deal. I know Flowers is a believer.
You can circumvent not having good mechanics by playing champions that don't need them. And then if you're somebody like Inspired who does have good mechanics, it's even better.
Berserker was hiding.
Oh no, Impact. I don't think you're getting away from this one, buddy. This is just going to be a little yak.
In a minute. Any second now.
It'll be fine.
There it goes.
There we go. Berserker getting paid.
Took a second there.
It seems like he needs to get paid because that was not a lot of damage there. We're going to need some more money. Fund the Twitch, please.
Yeah, it's going to be painful in team fights if it takes that long to punch through the Ornn.
Well, there we go. We got Kraken Slayer. We got Berserker Greaves now. He's looking scary. Kraken Slayer will help busting up those Ornns a little bit more.
It definitely will, as long as he doesn't get Vi ulted into Ornn ult into Everfrost from the Ahri like we did last time. Even with all of that engaged, pretty much perfect pinpoint from EG, it still required an extra charm and little bit of damage from Jojo to finish the kill. So I'm curious to see what the next round looks like, if Cloud9 can peel better, or if they can just create even a little bit of space for him to work with, because just that a little bit of space just needs some time for the next Yuumi heal to come up.
Yeah, it was a high burden of execution for EG to find that kill, and even then the Twitch almost kited out that situation. So to that point, EG are not out of the woods yet. They still need to find really good angles and make sure the Twitch does not get to open up on them and just instantly shred some of the damage dealers of EG.
Cloud9 still sitting on a 1,000 gold lead overall. Inspired charging up the queue. Danny gets jumped on though. Blaber finds him, but now Inspired going into the back, looking for the target once again. Berserker is low, but the man's still alive. But now no longer. A rampage for jojopyun, but now Evil Geniuses, they got some low health bars, but they aren't afraid. Jensen, Fudge, Zven, all trying to get away. They've lost Blaber, they've lost Berserker. They find a shutdown, and it's Jensen killing Danny. Inspired's got about 2% health. Cloud9 still holding on. Does Jensen want to try to find anything else here? He's got Zven attached.
Inspired's so low. It's so hard to actually try and force this dragon down. Inspired's trying to heal up off those raptors.
And he had to
Jensen walks too close. They thought EG would already be onto the dragon, but EG was waiting and setting a trap. Zven dies. The Yuumi is the sacrificial cat. And evil geniuses, again, they make the play they weren't expecting and they get paid for it.
They drew it up, Flowers, kill Berserker off the Vi ultimate, and once again, they executed it. A little bit hairy there as they got chased outwards, but Inspired smites the Raptor, heals back up off of it, and since they get that pick, the all-important pick, once again, walking into Fog of War, charm from Ahri, perfect stuff there. They don't even need to have the smite for the dragon, and Evil Geniuses even up that dragon count.
We've been talking a lot about this game from the Berserker perspective as the playmaker, but this is such a good fight for Danny with how many resources are kind of thrown at him here. Huge spell shield there to make sure that the distortion damage does not blow him up, and still being able to walk forward and try and contribute in this team fight. You know, not playing scared just because he's low, getting a lot of auto attacks onto Blaber there, Fudge as well. He's not the focal point a lot of the time in this comp, but you can see how many resources C9 had to spend to kill Danny just at the very tail end of this fight, making it look like C9 might have had an opportunity to find this play, but just EG heads up, taking control of this vision, and then making sure that they think, oh, we're on the dragon, just stack on top of this brush.
Yeah. Walking in, straight line, dangerous. They think they're already on it, like you said, and Jojo doesn't even wait for him to get close to the brush. This is smart because Jensen would have started to zigzag, but flashes to close the distance and make sure he gets that pick.
The important part is, Jojo, they had the sweeper running there from Zven, and so as they're walking in, as soon as you see the outer red line of that sweeper touch the pixel brush that would have revealed the shadows, boom, that's the flash.
Exactly. Now it's a 5-kill Jojo Ahri with the stopwatch, 9 stacks on the Dark Seal. Evil Geniuses even up the dragon fight, but Cloud9 still head a couple hundred gold.
Yeah. Hey, do you think Jojo's gonna write a book this game?
A little bit
Jojo
dangerous.
Book. The Book of Pain for Cloud9 as Fudge gets jumped on. They gotta disengage this one.
Uh-oh.
Inspired still looking. Ornn fires off. It's only the tank, but that tank ain't looking too tanky just yet. Fudge down to about a quarter HP, healed up a little bit here from Zven's Yuumi. Inspired jumping right back away. He does not commit the ulti to any of this. He always and only wants to use that ult for Berserker.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge that they only had to use the Ornn as well as the Ahri ult. They get out the Sejuani and Yuumi one, so you can see a lot more tools available for EG to kind of keep that pressure up. It did take a while to kill or try and punch through that Sejuani, so you can see still a very strong front line.
Ooh, Berserker opening up.
Inspired wants to ult him. Vi walking over there.
He
All
knows
right,
it.
these two bounties, big stuff here on the side of EG. Cloud9 trying to focus, trying to get that extra little bit of bounty to kick in, get themselves that advantage. But EG, these Mountain Drakes, they keep on stacking them. Next one coming up 2 minutes, 20 seconds. No need to change the plan of attack for them.
I mean, if it's broke, don't fix it.
Wait, if it is broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't, oh man.
I mean, that's my philosophy too, to be fair. If something's broken, I just leave it. It's fine.
I mean, if it still sort of works, I guess that's okay.
Buy a new one if it broke. That's my philosophy.
I messed up that one. That's my bad. I'm looking forward to reading NA Caster in the VOD later. But now that we've got that out of the way, we can go ahead and look at the next objectives on the menu, because right now Baron is up, but nobody's got the confidence to just start it up against a Sivir team or a Twitch team. Both of those champions adept at punishing you for trying to take an objective without your due diligence. The other objective, that Mountain Drake, he's not going to be alive for a couple of minutes, but the teams are tied up 2-2 on these. This is a very close game between two teams that we even prefaced this match by saying these are top of the table, upper bracket contenders.
Yeah, I think this has been pretty back and forth. You can see EG in the big moments finding the extra angle, knowing exactly how to punish, and that has not gotten them the gold lead yet, but I think situationally in the game, feeling a lot better, up pressure on the map a lot of the times. You can see not much vision for either team actually out right now, but with the 11 kills, a lot of it on the carries, feeling very good.
And another thing that you don't necessarily see in the gold at the top of the map is the Ornn upgrades.
Hey, baby.
Sivir upgrade in, and Infinity Edge coming soon here for Danny. So Danny is going to be a very big source of AoE damage. He's been following up on this dive, getting all this bouncing damage through the team of Cloud9 as Vi is charging for, as Jojo is charging for it, and they're going for that kill onto Berserker. So once that Infinity Edge crit comes in, and they've already got the added stats from the Ornn upgrade, will be a very different beast.
Okay, so since we're talking about these items coming online, I do have to talk about a couple of huge things. Guardian Angel for Inspired Zvi, he is now totally unafraid to go in, but there is a stopwatch on Berserker. This is
teleport?
Twitch's chance to stop those ultis from setting him up for his immediate demise. That's one thing to keep an eye on no matter what, as now Jojo was looking for a flank, but he ends up having to use his ulti to get away as Cloud9 see it and respond.
That's a pretty big cooldown for this dragon fight, because that means Jojo can't follow up on Berserker when they go for the big dive. He uses his last charge of the ultimate here. They can't get any more damage on Fudge. Cloud9, they've got an opening here.
Cloud9 first into the river, and it looks like EG are saying, okay, what if we do Baron?
That's an intelligent call from EG to say, hey, we don't have the tools. We need every ult necessary to be able to get that dive onto Berserker. Without that ult, let him have the dragon.
Especially with the scaling advantage of the Ornn that you were talking about. You know, like, you're fine to sack a dragon here and just get some pressure down on the Baron to make C9 have to come into you.
But Evil Geniuses were sitting on top of a C9 ward in the brush. C9 knew they weren't actually going anywhere near the Baron. They knew there was no urgency. And now the Sejuani ult flies out, but it only finds Ornn. The Drake was secured, and C9 are looking for a lot. Vulcan gets away. Wild Growth on himself. The rest of Evil Geniuses continue to disengage. EG are banged up. They're bruised. They're beat up a little bit here. C9 with control over the rift.
Nice win in the short term by C9, forcing out that Jojo ultimate, buys them the dragon. But you can see why people talk about EG being such a hard team to beat in team fights, because they won't take the bad ones. As soon as they lost that ultimate from Jojo, they were very quick to abandon the posture around Dragon Plan, and they just started going up to the top side. And while C9 does come out ahead of that play, was not maybe the back-breaking play that they were hoping to find at a dragon fight.
Right. Well, it does mean that Cloud9 are now on soul point, so at 4 minutes from now, EG is going to have to be very mindful about already getting caught or losing one of those resources, because Mountain Soul will make a big difference in a game like this, where assassinating the Twitch is such a core component of the entire way their team fight has to flow.
And pretty soon, that Sivir lawnmower damage is gonna rip through the entire team. Don't even have to focus fully here. Infinity Edge came in. That's that power spike that Danny was looking for.
All right, 3 items on that Sivir hyper carry over on the other side. Not quite a full 3 items for Berserker's Twitch. He doesn't have as many kills, has a little bit more farm, but stopped off for the stopwatch as well to make sure that he can avoid Inspired's next big all-in. Not gonna really get anything out of that. I mean, nice aim.
Accuracy.
It goes in for your accuracy stat. If this is League of Legends aim lab, that's good.
He's calling out his ex-teammate.
Penguin dab from Fudge. Got it, nailed it.
He's saying, Vulcan, I can still hit you. Old teammate.
There it is, exactly. He's got the read. Jensen will just stay up here in this top side on the back side of the pit. He'll fire off the Scryer's Bloom, which hits all 5 of Evil Geniuses, so gets eyes on everybody there. Tier 1 turret still standing for EG 31 minutes into this game. So C9 yet to knock that one down means EG has his bastion of safety to always retreat to. They never feel too scared staring down Cloud9 here in this mid lane. 2 minutes, 40 seconds till the Drake. Until then, we're just kind of going to dance around here, see what we can find.
Yeah, getting a little bit of ARAM right now because Jensen's TP is still not up. You think someone will go down and answer that side wave when they can. And for EG, it's about not letting that 5-man while Jensen lurks around to get that outer turret. You do want to keep it up as long as you can, because it is something that allows them to kind of kite out those situations you saw at Dragon. If you ever get chunked out, you have a safer fallback point.
I mean, it's also just so dangerous. If you send someone side lane, the engage on both sides is instant. Fudge already proving he'll hit every Sejuani ultimate, but EG as well. Vi ultimate and Ornn ultimate. If you split up and you give the positioning there, then you're going to get engaged on. So both teams being very cautious.
So one thing I'd like to see, since we do have just a bit of an ARAM state here in the game, could we swap to the gold view? Because I'm just now noticing Fudge has Flame Horizon Impact, like he's got more than 100 CS. Yeah, Fudge is up over 2,000 gold, so more than the entire
He's the richest
gold
man in the game.
Is the Fudge versus Impact diff here in the top side. The Sejuani is a much meatier meatball at this point in time.
That's a farmed pig.
Farm fresh, brother.
With a Yuumi on top of him. Killer Sedge.
Time to start building damage. You're the carry now, Fudge.
Alrighty, he's also got that fully charged Thimble Winter, which is very, very powerful at being able to provide some extra sustained defense there in those fights. They're on top of Impact. They want to stop him from being able to get away. Yes, he's a tank, but he's still going to take a lot of damage. Yuumi ulti comes through. EG, they're going to look for the right targets. Berserker gets jumped on. He's thrown up into the air. Stopwatch, he can't even use it. C9 commits for a tank and gets exactly what you would tank from it. Immediate punish from EG.
EG destroy them against the walls. Impact baits them on into the red jungle, and they smash them against the rocks. Evil Geniuses don't lose anyone. They push straight up mid. They're going to get everything here. Teleport back to base from the Sejuani. Gets interrupted by Vi.
And Inspired just beats a snot out of Fudge there with his bare hands. Evil Geniuses. Man, C9, as soon as they commit the Yuumi ulti for the Ornn,
it was a fine idea. The initial chase down, punish him. You get the flash out of Ornn. That feels pretty good for when the next team fight occurs, but they just went a little too hard on it. The flank angle by jojopyun getting that TP was perfect, and now EG are finally firmly in control of this game with the Baron buff going down, up to a 3,000 gold lead at the back end of that play.
It's just so dangerous to over chase into no vision. So I like that this starts out. Look at this bottom area here, no vision down there for Cloud9 as they're chasing through. Jojo is showing on the top lane though. That's why, you know, they want to continue going with this.
And even the Vi was in top river, they knew that, but then it just takes so long to kill Impact as, hold on.
We aren't done yet, my friends. Jensen getting caught out here. This is distortion. Inspired staying on the chase. Jensen still trying to get away here. They kill the clone first. Real Jensen still continues to try to dash away, but Real Inspired is still really after him. Jensen dashes away again. Danny back over onto the Drake. So Evil Geniuses are probably going to at least get themselves a Drake here. Vulcan gets the kill on Jensen. EG get the secure on the Drake. Both teams at 3 Drakes now, my friends.
Both teams on soul point. EG feeling a little bit better though. Jensen did his best. Got a couple nice jukes off, but now they get the dragon. They have the Baron push going for EG. And
well, your best wasn't good enough, okay?
I mean, this game was rigged. What was a good enough juke to live there?
This is actually just crazy. Inspired and Jojo dominated so hard. 0 deaths for both of them. So many big plays, big picks from these 2 members of Evil Geniuses. You know, this team just being the combination of the veterans and the young players alike, and the arc that we've seen from this team over the course of this year has been inspirational.
It's also really cool with the LCS 10 putting out their top 5 all-time position list. jojopyun was obviously, as a young player not on there, playing up against number 2 Jensen, but when we looked at that list, it felt like number 5 spot was up for the taking, and it's cool to watch Jojo. You're talking about this inspiration, this young kid exploding onto the scene, and already people are like, oh, that spot's his one day. Everyone has him marked.
He said it himself as well in the interview yesterday, talking about the list, saying, yeah, I'll probably be number 1 on that list soon.
I love that confidence. That's what I love. It's so fun. It's so, people can get invested in this guy. They can get rally behind this guy. Like, Jojo is exciting to watch on and off the Rift, especially when Inspired and him are making all these plays together.
Yeah, Inspired has just been fantastic, though. This Vi ultimate, walking around, it's a death sentence for anyone within a screen of him.
Okay, EG, they got Baron for another 25 seconds. This tier 2 turret, that one's going to go pop like a balloon. Let's see if they can take down the tier 3 here, too. Doesn't look like it.
Probably not. C9 do want to put up a little bit of defense.
Okay, Impact throws out the Ornn Horn. That's at least going to make enough room for EG to try to step up towards the tier 3, but Fudge is immediately ready for the punish. Jojo's down to 20%. C9 will hold the line on their tier 3 turret. They will not get the kill on the EG mid laner.
Well, he does have TP back in, so it looks like EG are going to press forward with jojopyun TPing back, maybe try and get this second inhibitor. Make sure that they have pressure up in the top side for when the dragon respawns and soul point.
Well, let's see. Blaber wants to clear that ward. Okay, Spire's not going to jump in just yet, but he follows up when Jojo hits the charm. Blaber, nearly dead now, has to get all the way back to the fountain. Evil Genius is still hanging around. Jensen jumps in, drops the Ignite on Jojo, but no real kill pressure here just yet. Mid lane tier 3 turret still standing with about 1/3. Minion wave nearly ready to collide into that one, but the timing's not quite where they would need it to kill this turret right now. Evil Geniuses still has 4 of their players sticking around with some decently aggressive posture, but now they'll back away. They've got wolf control. They'll steal away the jungle, set down the wards, be ready to set up for some of that vision with that dragon coming up in under 2 minutes.
It was touch and go there for a second with the assassins almost blowing each other up. They do fend off though for Cloud9. Even though they lost the inhibitor turret, the most important part, the inhibitor's still up. So like you're saying, when this dragon spawns, there won't be this natural pressure around the top side that EG can just kind of sit around and eventually potentially force a member of C9 back to clear that wave. In the end, a somewhat successful base defense by Cloud9 there.
Well, C9 has the cards stacked against them here. 4,000 gold down against an EG that has just been so well coordinated here in this game. They were winning fights even when they were down gold. A ton of that gold is the tank diff, but
great.
I mean, we've got
Don't
5-item carries now,
no.
right?
Anyways.
I don't think the meatballs are going to matter that much.
No, probably not the frontliners who will decide this game, unless it's with a nice ultimate, but gotta keep our eyes on Jensen, Jojo, Berserker, and Danny. And Inspired.
Oh, Jojo getting caught. We're talking about frontliner ultimates, and Fudge gets it done. Fudge has the shutdown. Evil Geniuses still trying to find a way to fight now. Inspired wants to get away. Jensen on the chase. They get the Guardian Angel. Berserker, happily firing. Danny will die. Shutdown to Blaber. Absolute domination from C9.
What'd you say about Fudge? He hits the ulti. Inspire gets a counter kill though quickly onto Jensen.
Inspire coming back. He kills Jensen.
No way.
Berserker wants to come in. Oh my God. That was huge. Inspired. 1v3. Sit the hell down, Cloud9.
Here comes Vi. He's not done either. He's looking for the whole team. But Impact is definitely gonna go down. But my goodness, Inspired.
He just saved the game potentially for EG there. You could see Cloud9 with where Fudge teleported up to the pushing top wave. They wanted to end the game off that fight and meet up with that top wave, and that 1v3 saved the game.
Or at the very least, they could have even just walked down and got the soul.
Yeah.
So, like, the rewards were there. Even if they couldn't push all the way for the win, there's some huge possible comeback for Cloud9. And it is Fudge with the ulti on Jojo. Then he follows it up with a charge and takes the big shutdown.
It's a Rockcat flip the switch replay. I'm not sure who we're flipping it for, because initially C9 were on the back foot. They have this great turn. They get the kill on Jojo. Danny can't actually kite this one out despite the Lulu ultimate. And that seems like all the threats down, but there's one left for EG that you can't count out. Potential MVP Inspired.
Huge stuff. Turns around, hits the big Q, gets the first kill onto Jensen, heals back up. This is Conqueror fully stacked, Death Dance with Divine Sunder heals. So many heals coming back through here from Inspired. He heals more than the Yuumi's healing.
Look at the grin on his face.
He's feeling good.
He knows what he just did. That was the mistake. That was the window. That was the angle. That was the moment for C9. And Inspired beat the living hell out of it. Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Gregor
MVP candidate
stuff.
Can we just give him the MVP? Like, after that? Come on, man. Wow, 7,572 damage. About 75 times as much as Jojo.
Not something you're used to seeing out of the jungle position. Inspire popping off on Vi. Gets the Dragon Soul. It makes it so much harder for C9 now to punch through and find that kind of initial kill onto Jojo, the shield, as well as the extra resist. Absolutely huge.
Yeah, that was the comeback for Cloud9. That fight into the Mountain Soul, into the hard push, but all stops with Inspired, and Inspired's bounty still active. Cloud9 need to recreate this situation. It's very difficult because Sejuani's ultimate is so much worse than Ornn's ultimate for late game team fights, because it's only the single target can get blocked by anybody in front of you. So that opportunity, landing the perfect one onto a backline carry, is very rare.
Well, EG are pressing on the gas pedal here. They want to go after the Baron. They dare Cloud9 to come stop them. Cloud9 will accept that dare, and that means that EG disengage from the Baron for now. Fudge could be the one who's targeted. EG, now they're going after the tank. They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to make the same mistake C9 did chasing after Impact 10 minutes ago.
I love it. He eats their honey fruit, so they Ornn ult him after he penguin dabs. It's, you know, there's more important objectives to fight over in theory, but I gotta say, I respect it.
It's all about the mind
If
game,
you let
the
them
mental
take your
warfare.
honey fruit for unpunished, what's next?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a slippery slope.
right?
Exactly.
Even when they've got the Sejuani passive on too, and he's like, cannot even be slowed. Also, he is the only one with the full build. Fudge took the big shutdown too, so this Sejuani can't even get any bigger.
Sell them boots? No.
Fan of Dancer Sejuani. All right, Cloud9, they're coming in to try to challenge him yet again. 6,000 health left here on Mr. Baron. EG don't want to take it down any lower. They don't want to risk a 50-50 YOLO flip here.
Super Minion gonna get closer and closer. The pressure mounting. These minions towards that exposed inhibitor. They're onto the exposed inhibitor now. Cloud9 gotta have some sort of check for these minions.
C9 do have 2 Unleashed teleports ready to use here, but remember, EG does the Baron fast, and that Unleashed teleport does have a channeling time. Just making somebody have to teleport to join up with the fight could be that little bit of an extra edge that EG wants to commit to this. Still turning around now. Okay, they got the Ornn ready to go again. Fudge separated from the rest of C9. He's the target, and he melts 6 items or not.
Does not matter what your inventory is. 1v5 is not going to work out for you with the front line down. You can see Cloud9 bailing out of contesting the Baron. They get that one for free. Expert macro, like you said, with Jensen back in base, it was too easy.
Yeah, tanks do not scale, especially against Vi with denting blows and a black cleaver. Guess what? Your armor doesn't mean anything to me.
Plus, at that point in time, it's safe to go on the tank because you know where everybody else on C9 is. They couldn't save them. There was no surprise factor jumping out of the fog to try to fight back. And EG now have a 5v4 for the next 30 seconds. They've got Baron, they've got Super Minions, they're in the enemy base. Berserker wants the flank, he looks for the damage, but JoJo's ready to turn it right back around if he can. EG trying to deal with a C9 AD carry, and they got him. Blaber chases after JoJo, but he's not gonna do enough, not near damn quick enough, as Berserker falls, and Blaber gets polymorphed. Jensen wants to get away. Impact goes for the bowling ball, and it's looking like they won't quite get him just yet. Fudge is back alive, but Evil Geniuses still have more men on the field. The Nexus is barely holding on. C9 might just hold it. Impact nearly kills King, and he gets it. That's the dub. That's EG taking the win.
Impact gets his revenge. We watched him not be able to finish off that turret earlier in the game. This time he finishes off the structure, gets the Nexus by himself, and the win.
What a game from EG. Inspired. Inspired, 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 inspired. That triple kill, the 1v3 at the end on top of the incredible performance the rest of the game. Hot damn, this man's good at League of Legends.
Impact had 534 armor at the end of the game. Got turned into a little cupcake, just the little hammer trying to finish the Nexus, and he did it. An Ornn with a dream.
You stopped him early in the game.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop him late.
That was a good one, though. Evil Geniuses triumphing here as we head into playoffs again. They secure, cement first place spot. No one can catch them. No tiebreakers, no nothing. Evil Geniuses are the best team in the LCS.
And they are looking to come back and defend that crown that they earned in Spring. This team is ferocious. Like, you do not want to see your name lined up against their name in this bracket for playoffs.
No, I mean, I think you saw in that game, both the early game control to weather the storm from C9, the mid game team fighting, the late game decision making, Inspired's a monster. Like, there's so many things you have to be scared of when you bump into this team in best of fives.
It's not good for anybody going up against them, but man, you love to see the reigning champions, one of those top squads, in this form heading into playoffs. You love to see what looks like a team that is not just ready, but hungry for these best of fives, ready to show what they got.
And this also means Cloud9 will not get their tiebreaker with CLG for 4th spot. So CLG, congratulations as well. Securing that spot.
Yeah,
we got signs in the audience.
It's all about that.
If FlyQuest win too, I might be okay for the pepper bet.
There you go. All right, Mark. Doesn't have to burn his taste buds off. After the break, the Tigress will be talking with one of our victorious first place Evil Geniuses. But as we go, the era of the Dragons is upon us.
Dragons will rule the 7 kingdoms for the next 100 years.
Everything that House Targaryen possesses is owed to it.
They are restless and chaotic.
Without them, we're just like everyone else.
This infighting must cease! The dragon's saddle is one thing. The Iron Throne is the most dangerous seat in the realm.